We now discuss the emotions. This time we focus on guilt. According to Romans chapter 3, verse 23, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, in accordance with the riches of God's grace that he lavished on us with all wisdom and understanding. From Ephesians chapter 1, verse 7. Let us draw near to God with a sincere heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled to cleanse us from a guilty conscience and having our bodies washed with pure water. From Hebrews chapter 10, verse 22. For whoever keeps the whole law and yet stumbles at just one point is guilty of breaking all of it. From James chapter 2, verse 10. Guilt is a pervasive emotion in Western patients. It is completely missing from Chinese medicine books, and one could say that it simply does not exist in the Chinese psyche and soul. It could be argued that guilt is intrinsically related to the Judeo-Christian religions, and especially the Christian religion with its concept of original sin. There are few expressions in Chinese to indicate guilt, and all of them refer to guilt in a legal sense rather than a feeling of guilt. An everyday expression to indicate a feeling of guilt would be yo jui a con, which means having a guilty feeling, in which jui means guilt or crime in a legal sense. We have never seen expressions referring to feeling of guilt in modern Chinese books. It could be argued that this is due to the fact that in Judeo-Christian societies, the feeling of guilt is pervasive, while in Eastern societies, such feeling is more or less absent. In fact, the concept of guilt is totally absent in all three major Chinese religions of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. Indeed, Confucius did not even believe in the value of punishment for crimes. It should be stressed that what concerns us here in dealing with emotions is not guilt, but the feeling of guilt, which is totally unrelated to an actual crime or transgression. For example, a person may have committed a crime but feel no guilt at all. Conversely, a person may have committed no crime or transgression but feel guilty. Guilt can manifest in many different ways. Feeling of responsibility for negative circumstances that have befallen oneself or others, feeling of regret for real or imagined misdeeds, both past and present, feeling responsible and guilty for any negative thing that occurs to members of one's family or one's partner, taking responsibility for someone else's misfortune or problem. Apart from the above examples of the consequences of a guilty feeling, this may make a person take very important life-changing steps such as engaging in marriage or taking a job. In other words, a subconscious guilty feeling may play a role in the choice of job or life partner. The previously mentioned are only a few examples of the sort of behavior induced by feelings of guilt. A feeling of guilt may be due to the transgression of social or religious taboos or from having done something wrong that is later regretted. However, a feeling of guilt may also be innate and not related to any specific action. This latter feeling is indeed the most destructive one. Thank you for your attention.